Hello indie game fans, I received a request for the best co-op indie games for the Steam summer sale, so here it is. Let me know what else you would like to see, with prices decreasing as the video goes along. So let's begin with Streets of Rage 4, a return to form for the storied IP with a 26-year gap between this and Streets of Rage 3, which was amazing to see. It isn't from the original developers, but the new stewards of the IP have done this justice, featuring returning characters and enemies, awesome music, and even the retro versions of these characters, all while adding their own spin on things with new characters and more. It looks absolutely gorgeous and has all the bells and whistles that make a game like this great, and as is traditional, beat-em-up titles are better with friends and is a fantastic co-op experience. I've included titles that need to be played or are best played with 2 players, in which Fogs is an adorable puzzle adventure game about a 2-headed dog making their way through the world. 90s kids will remember the Nickelodeon cartoon Cat Dog, and this is a similar idea, only you are Dog instead, where the fact that the 2 heads are joined together results in the fun of this game. You must work together with your partner to solve puzzles and platforming challenges, which, as you can imagine, might get tricky, but this is not one of those rage games and it is fun to play. When you talk about co-op games, the We Were Here series of first-person puzzle adventure games must be mentioned, where I'm specifically using footage of We Were Here Forever, but all of them are great and worth a shot, including We Were Here, which is free, We Were Here 2, We Were Here Together, and their most recent entry, We Were Here Expeditions, The Friendship. Communication is key and you need to work with your partner to solve puzzles and to get through or risk being trapped here forever, and at 50% off is pretty good value. Here's an interesting title since Aragami 2 is a third-person stealth action game where you're doing Assassin's Creed stuff like hiding in the shadows and then stabbing some fools, but of course with a Japanese theme. And oh, did I mention that you have shadow powers as well? Yes, that means supernatural abilities for even more effective skulking around and for maximum chaos. How about adding 2 friends to the mix? Technically, you can play this game solo, but co-op stealth is always an interesting concept since you can coordinate and time your approach, for example, taking out a guard that would have otherwise sounded the alarm, so you can be even more efficient in completing your mission. The sad news is that this developer has shut down with no clear standard bearer for the stealth game at this point in time, but this is a solid entry worth a play.
The Shadow Clan has returned.
Between you and me, there are several popular indie games whose gimmick is mashing together 2 other popular indie games, and a game which is such an example is This Means Walk. This is a co-op space management roguelite in which you and your crew man the different battle stations on the ship, prioritizing repairs or weapons when the time is right. So this is very FTL, faster than light in nature, but adds in a dose of Overcooked for more chaos, and is a decent if underrated one of these. Okay, I know what you're thinking, since Mayhem Brawler sure looks like Streets of Rage 4 at home, having a similar art style and is also a beat-em-up title, but I do think that there's some charm to this game. For one, you are playing as super-powered law enforcement officers with special powers, taking on gangsters and mutant creatures, and has satisfying combat as well. The developer released plenty of post-launch content, so this is value for money, and at 66% discount is worth a shot, with there being a sequel in development as well.
Today we stand up against NSR.
You are so naive to think that rock is still relevant.
We are gonna hijack their concert.
Another title which can be played solo but might be better with a friend is No Straight Roads Encore Edition, a third-person action-adventure game with music and rhythm elements, taking place in a world where rock is banned and only EDM is allowed. Even if you have no particular affinity towards music like me, I'm sure that you can appreciate the musical stylings of this game, which is a combination of great action that feels old school in design. Sure, there are brawler elements and even a combo meter, but the almost rhythm game style segments in combat are new without being a straight up rhythm game. It also comes to us from a Malaysian developer, so Southeast Asia represent, and is underrated all things considered. In my mind, co-op and beat-em ups go hand in hand, in which a smaller game that you might have missed is Tunche, a roguelite title of all things in which you play as various characters in the attempt to save the Amazon rainforest. This has a gorgeous hand-drawn art style with fun combos once you unlock it, which is perhaps the main sticking point for the game since it can feel like a grind, but the combat can be fun. Also, Hat Kid from A Hat in Time is somehow one of the 5 playable characters, which might be a little immersion breaking, but at 70% discount might be worth a look. This next title is co-op only and might not be what you expect, since Bokura is a puzzle adventure game about 2 boys who ran away from home only to find themselves in, let's say, very strange circumstances, with one of them seeing the world of robots and the other a world of anthropomorphic animals. Yes, it is trippy and weird, but for the most part, it's a co-op puzzle platformer, so you need to communicate with the other player since you're looking at something completely different as compared to them. With the developer playing around with the question, have you ever wondered if the world you see is the same as the world everyone else sees? I believe they made a change where both players need to purchase the game, but at 50% off and $2.75 a copy, I think that's a fair price for this experience. A co-op title that not many people know about is Hack Tag, one with asymmetry of roles since one player controls a secret agent in the field and the other a hacker providing support and intelligence, having to coordinate and work together to complete the mission. And at a whopping 90% discount is worth a shot, even if it does currently sit at mixed reviews. Watch this video for more Steam sale picks.